Hello everybody, Ian Robson here with our episode of American Outback. Alright, we got things going on today. As you can see, I have mown the field and it is ready to be raked. And let's get started. So what we're going to do is let's take this back to the shop because we're pretty close to the shop anyways. Take this back to the shop and then we'll grab a rake to make our lives a little bit easier. We probably could, let's take a quick peek. We probably could, oh, don't run over that. Do we need to rake it? Let's not rake it this time, I think. Doesn't make a huge difference, I don't think. So let's take this to the shop, just because it's right there. That's the reason why I'm saying that. It's just the closest place we can store this Moco for the time being. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a baler and I'm not sure which baler we're going to grab because I don't have there's a few round balers out there that aren't bad. We don't need it's funny, round balers don't need a lot of horsepower in this game at least. I'm not sure about real life. Let's see what we have in terms of modded combines. I have some nice square ones, but not round ones. I have the Crone. It's funny. If you watch One Lowly Farmer, apparently his Crone baler is working fairly well. For the most part, at least. We have the McHale Fusion. Alright, we'll use the New Holland then. In-game New Holland round baler. It's a nice little baler. Grab that. Only requires 70 horsepower, so we are good with our little Ford here. And it makes sense, Ford New Holland. So let's go ahead and move this up. So if you're wondering, so I'm going to point this out right now because people ask this question often. So when I turn my wheel like this, I'm looking to the left, and I do the same thing, looking to the right. That's with the keyboard steering mod. Better keyboard steering, if you're wondering. And then when I back up and it looks behind me, it's also the keyboard steering mod. So just in case you're wondering, that's what I'm using. Alright, there we go. It's very convenient because you don't have to mess around with your mouse so much, which is nice. So like for example, I have a steering wheel and I have to reach over the steering wheel in order to get to the mouse, so it's a little inconvenient. But with the keyboard steering mod, it worked really nicely because I don't have to do that. Alright, so let's get this baled up. So we were going to originally rake it up, but I'm just going to leave it like this for the time being. Alright, so because we have the drive control mod, I'm going to set this up so it stops at 100%. So you have a couple options. If you look in the bottom right hand corner, I'm just switching between the different styles of the drive control. So this one is when it stops at 100%, that one's when it stops at 0%, that one is follow the same speed as somebody. That one is meant for, what do they call it? What's that module called? Oh, I forget what it's called. Gas limiter, I think it's called. Anyways, it's meant more for like when you're using a keyboard, so like it's more like, because the keyboard's like 100% or 0, there's nothing in between. So if you use that one right there, it's better for keyboards because then you can adjust how much you put it down, sort of idea. Anyways, we want the 100% one. Let's go ahead and lower that guy. Not turn your tractor off. Lower that, turn it on, and let's go. So we're going to follow around the headlands first. Well, maybe I should have raked this up. Ooh, this seems really, really fast. Let's not bail at 20 kilometers an hour. Let's go maybe 12 kilometers an hour. Sheesh, 20 seems really fast. So automatically I just stop there, and that's done of course with the better keyboard steering drive control mod. Alright, let's continue. So how I'm able to bale this grass without tending it at all is with it's a mod called, I think it's add fill type grass, I think it's called. It's on the Farm Sim main website if you're wondering. That's where I picked it up from. So you can just get it from there, and then it allows you to bale grass without having to ted it. And because we are making this into silage, that's what you would normally do. Actually, my in-laws make silage bales out of oats pea mix. I don't know if they still do that, but they've done that in the past for their sheep. And the sheep really love that stuff. Oh, I have glance in here? Why do I have glance in here? That's weird. Oh well. Apparently I left glance. If you're wondering what glance is, it's the top left-hand corner. That's glance. The glance mod. I don't normally have it in my single-player series, but apparently I have it in here because I didn't move it or something. Which is strange. But it's more helpful when you're on a multiplayer or you have lots of things going on. It's because we only have like a few fields on this map. It's not so bad. But because there's only me, it's not really that helpful. But if you have like multiple people, then it's really chill. There we go. Nice. Alright, so I'm going to do a little shout out for Jay Ritchie. I forgot to mention him last time when I mentioned my patrons, and I apologize for that, sir. I have a bad memory, so I can't remember everybody's name sometimes. But you're awesome. He's really actually on the server. He works crazy hard, which is pretty sweet because he'll come on and do like, you know, a few odd things here and there, and then next thing you know, like, you know, the farm's all in tip-top shape, sort of idea. So it is really cool when that happens. Actually, when we all get on the server together, it's a lot of fun because the amount of work that can get done is fantastic. All right, let's continue here. After we lower the tailgate, there we go. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun playing on the server actually. Especially when you get a few people on there and things start really rolling. It's pretty surprising what can get done in a couple hours. Like the other day, I was on the server with Donald for a bit, and I was collecting some straw, and I think in the space of, I don't know, like maybe half an hour or something like that, we managed to make like, I don't know, I think it was like $20,000 from selling straw. It was crazy. It seemed really high, but we have straw laying all over the place on that map right now. But we're not doing anything with it yet, but we don't really need it. I think we were storing it before, and then we decided to just leave it on the ground for the time being. We have the chopped straw mod. I think if you have soil mod and the chopped straw mod, what you could theoretically do is I think you can cultivate it into the ground and get an extra point of nitrogen, I think it is. Which is one of the things you could do. I don't know. There's one of the things I don't like about the chopped straw mod is that it's kind of messy. It's really strange because you'll leave like straw all over the place, and it can kill your FPS pretty hard too. But the concept, like the way it works with chops with soil mod, is really slick. So, unfortunately, it doesn't play nice on your FPS. Alright, just finishing up headland number 2 here. Taking it nice and easy, not getting too crazy. Apparently I can go 24 kilometers an hour while baling, which seems really fast. I don't know about you, but I don't know, like, would you really want to go 24 kilometers an hour? I don't know. I guess the hard part you would run into, or the thing you'd run into, is like the volume of hay. So like, and especially because this is wet as well, like, you wouldn't want to be driving through that quickly. You just probably just ruin your baler. Alright, there's one more. There we go. Gonna grab a quick sip of coffee here, 1 second. Sorry about that. Need to make sure I drink my coffee. It's 6 a.m. so Coffee's always good at 6 a.m. I was out fishing yesterday. Went out fishing with the wife. She got into fishing, which is kind of cool. She got our first personal best bass. I think it was about 2-3 pounds, something like that. It's pretty epic. The funny thing is, the rod she was using, the reel actually fell off. I was a little concerned about that happening with that reel. It's a new reel for the rod, and it's an old rod. And where you attach the reel to the rod isn't necessarily made for the size of reel I got for it, so it doesn't stay in there very nicely. So when she caught the fish, it actually fell off, which was like traumatic, I think. So now I have to find an appropriate rod for that reel. But it's a kind of a big reel. It's I think it's a, oh goodness, it's an Abu Garcia S Cardinal, S60 Cardinal, I think it is, which is pretty beefy. I have it on a medium action rod right now, but I could probably put it on like a heavy, maybe a heavy action, or a medium heavy action. But it's weird. Looking for medium heavy action 2-piece rods is kind of an odd experience because it doesn't work very well all the time. Just one of those things. A lot of people use Ugly Sticks as a brand name of fishing rod. A lot of people use that because they are rather durable. Or so I'm told, at least. But yep, she had a good time. Huge grin on her face for a good chunk of the day we went fishing. Yeah, because bass season just opened up here in Ontario, at least in my zone. I think in almost every zone it opens up. I think there's like 1 or 2 zones where it doesn't open up that in the third weekend in June, but in our area it does. Nice. We're gonna get more bales than I anticipated here. Jeez. I didn't think we were gonna get this many. I should have realized. I think it's strange. I think what happens is when you don't rake the grass in this game, for whatever reason, it seems like it doesn't lose material, if that makes sense. So I don't know, it seems like there's more of it. But when you rake it, yes, it puts it all together, but it seems like you actually lose some of the materials. Because I just mowed it and just laid it on the ground and didn't move it from there, I think that's why the number of bales I'm getting is, because it's going to be fairly high. But that's my prediction. What we'll do is we'll probably use the in-game wrapper because it's like the best one. I haven't seen too many other wrappers outside of that one that are like really good. Have you? Leave me a comment below if you have. Wrappers seem to be like one of those items that a modded one isn't always a better one, for whatever reason. So like when the Ursus DLC came out for FS13, like that was the best wrapper, and like a lot of the wrappers were based on that one. Like I have a McHale square bale wrapper. It works okay. It doesn't work very well with bale extension, but it works alright by itself. But when you have bale extension, so some people ask me this sometimes too, so bale extension is this, so when I walk up to the bale I can see, oh, it's grass, the humidity is this, the amount is this, the quality is a C quality apparently, which is, I don't know how it's C quality, probably because I didn't try it. That always happens. Oh well. Yeah, we're gonna get quite a few bales. I don't know what the number's gonna end up being, but I'm gonna guess maybe 20, 25 bales, maybe, if not more. In real life, I'm not sure if you get this many bales from such a small little area, but it's entirely possible. Some of the smaller fields can actually be fairly productive, and that's mainly because you can manage those fields a lot better. And that's one of the interesting facts about small farms versus big farms. Sometimes the smaller farms are actually more productive than the bigger farms because they pay more attention to the smaller things around their farm. This is why. So in this view I can see, but I always end up missing something. It's strange. And it's funny, I finally adjusted one of the things on the side panel, because one of the features is you can turn, like twist the knob to left and right, and what it'll allow you to do is it'll actually rotate the camera left and right. But it's that's the same function for like some of the stuff you use for like tipping a bucket, for example. If you're using like a high tip bucket, that's the same function for that. Or I forget what that one would be. But there's a couple other functions with it, so it used to be looking around, but now it's not. So anyhow, all right, 90, 100, cool. Alright folks, I think we'll stop it there for the time being, or else you'll see another 15 minutes of straight baling probably. I need to get the rest of this field done. So I hope you enjoyed that episode of American Outback, and if you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more American Outback. That'll be coming out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and hopefully I'll see you next time. My name's Iain Robson again, and I'll catch you guys later.